What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. So today we're going to update you on Crush, the Aldabra Tortoise. Now check him out right here. Now, not sure if it's a boy or a girl because we actually didn't check. My money's on girl. What? Because the plastron was extremely flat, which typically in tortoises, if the plastron's concave, that will make it a male, so that way they can mount the female. But if they're flat, no mounting needed. So
let's see if we can get him to walk. It's like we were talking before how he wasn't able to use his back legs at all.
His mobility is crazy.
All right, let's show him some food. Now we'll be like, oh, okay, here's a little treat. 4 strawberries.
Oh yeah,
look at that.
He's running.
So when he came here, he literally had zero mobility of his back legs. So he's definitely got the.
And he loves the strawberries just like the rest of the tortoises.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like that's like the ticket, the money ticket.
But they're like little freaking Skittles to him. What?
He's like, I want it, but I don't want you to give it to me. Oh, there he goes.
Woo.
Now, if you've never been bit by a tortoise, guys, they literally have beaks very similar to a bird. So if you can zoom in there or kind of come in, you can see exactly where Crush's beak is. And it's kind of like got a little bit of an overbite. And he'll actually take your finger off. If he grabbed you and got a good bite on there and pulled, Kyle would be losing a finger.
So it's all about timing. But I think we'll let him get that last one.
And now if you want to know one of the ways to tell the difference between an Aldabra tortoise like Crush and a Galapagos tortoise, a really easy way, besides looking at the facial structure, is come right here on the,
hey, bud.
Come on, Crush. Right on his shell. So this little, like, nook right here. So Galapagos tortoises don't have that. So if you see that, that means it's an Aldabra. That's an Aldabra specific trait. And I like to see the biosecurity at work. So if you come right over here, guys, we have nature's cleanup crew. We got a little millipede on top of Crush, just going along, chugging away and eating some of like the algae that's been growing on him because he's been hanging out in the water. So that would just go and clean his shell.
Yeah, I've kind of realized that I can't be too sterile and biosecure in this natural habitat. But you know, I got to think of the animal's well-being, and they are definitely happiest outdoors and naturalistic enclosure. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
Now, for the people that don't know Crush, Kyle, how about you take them through the story of Crush, how you got him and where he came from?
Yeah, so he came from a private owner in Michigan, I believe, and you know, unfortunately, he wasn't getting the proper UV that he needed, proper diet, and his shell is definitely wonky because of it. And I think that caused metabolic bone disease, which could have been a myriad of a host of different issues. And obviously the biggest ailment is the shell and his lack of mobility with his back legs.
Which is dramatically increased, just giving him kind of some natural exercise.
Yeah, my buddy got him, and he kept him for a little bit in South Carolina. And he said when he got him, he actually had zero mobility, even with his front legs. So even when I got him, at least he had front
He's three-wheeling it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see he comes up on that sheep pile and will push his whole body up with his back legs. So he has gotten a tremendously stronger since being here. And again, the last enclosure at the other facility was kind of his physical therapy enclosure. So it's definitely aided him in getting to this point. And there's a mound over there and a pond that he has to climb out of. So there's still areas that he's got to exercise his legs just to help boost that recovery. But he's doing really well.
He's making incredible progress.
Yeah.
I mean, even from when I first moved down here, he really wasn't able to move all that well. And now, I mean, he sits right up and will run to food, which is something that just seeing the recovery time and how far this tortoise has come is amazing.
He does move like he's drunk though, but it's a big tortoise. You know, that's kind of how they move around. They're not the best at mobility, but you know, they're just absolute torque monsters. I mean, they'll just push through anything, they'll destroy anything.
Yeah.
So that's why the beauty of the sheep pile is it seems to be holding up to him, but you know, it's buried 2 foot in the ground. It has a wood cap on it, so it's really secure. keep him in.
Yeah, because these guys will take out chain link fences. They'll take out, my friend at Sonoma County Reptile Rescue, they had some sulcatas, which are slightly smaller, but still a large tortoise species.
Yeah.
And he had a ladder, a steel ladder set up, and it went in between and pulled it, like two of them pulled apart the legs of the ladder, and he came out the next day and the hole's all twisted up, and this was like a pretty heavy set steel ladder. So when you get a tortoise like this, you gotta understand that you gotta build them kind of like a little fortress. They don't mess up.
I'm old, man. My legs can't handle it.
I think it's Kyle's nap time again. It's a little late for it, but you want to make sure.
Oh, I'm listening. I'm listening.
So Kyle, listen up. So you want to make sure that when you get a tortoise that's going to be one of these large ones, that your backyard can handle them. Because they can go in there and just completely destroy your backyard and get out. So you want to make sure that you are doing the best thing possible for the animal you are getting.
Well, that's the biggest thing too, is sulcata tortoises are cheap tortoises. You know, you can get them for, you know, a little bit over $100 right now. Honestly, I mean, you probably find them for cheaper, and they start out tiny, and then they get to be this 150-pound monster that will just destroy your fence, destroy your yard by building burrows, destroy your house if you put it in the house. I mean, they're terrible pets. They really are terrible pets. But they breed very easily, and there's definitely a demand for it.
When they're really cute as little babies that are like 2 to 4 inches, I would say. There's tiny little things. They're the cutest little things. So when people see them at like a reptile show, like, oh, I want to get it. I'll put it in a fish tank and keep it in my house, thinking that maybe it's like a Russian tortoise that maybe only gets like this big, or even a cherry head that gets slightly larger. Not realizing.
Well, what is it? What kind of cherry head you finding that's big?
This is not that big.
What cherry head you finding that big?
I guarantee you, without moving this, we can walk over to your cherry heads. I can put it down and it'd be the perfect size.
Yeah, because by the time you get from here to there, it'll shrink ever so slightly.
No, that's that big.
What is that?
Big. Look, no, that's bigger.
That's
bigger than what I'm showing. Go, that's big.
Anyway, terrible pet.
But they get much larger, and you gotta know what you're getting.
I think redfoots, if you live in tropical climate like Florida, it's a great pet for outdoors, indoors. You know, you can have something pretty generic, something inside for them. You know, you don't have to have this crazy.
You can get like a tortoise hutch that they sell, like the nice wood tortoise hutches are decently large. They're 4 by 2 by.
Yeah, but even redfoot. I mean, well, sorry, redfoots are this big apparently. But
no, like 16 inches.
But even then, I mean, the more I think about it, you know, even then they get big. A Russian tortoise is a good sized pet, and it's manageable.
Yeah, like a Russian tortoise.
Herman's
tortoise, Greek's tortoise. What are some other ones? Pancake tortoise. Those are pretty cool. And if you want a unique tortoise, stay away from sulcatas, Aldabras, Galapagos. If you don't have a giant backyard to secure and give them room, and if you're not in the right environment for them, they don't make good house pets. Apartments and houses, those 3 should never be in. But how about we say we let Crush eat the rest of his food and take off and call it a day?
Yeah, well, let's go through his enclosure and just check everything, because I haven't walked in here lately.
Let's go look at his enclosure.
Let's at least check everything, because I want to see how the house held up, because obviously he is a monster, and his old house that was made out of wood he completely destroyed. So I just want to see how well it holds up.
Get on in there.
I ain't getting in there.
Crawl in.
As you can see, I put the black plastic there. Just because I was a little weird about because obviously this being outdoors, it is pressure treated. So with them, when they put their shell up to the side, obviously their nose is right there. And again, it's something that I'm just weird about. You know, you can still kind of smell that pressure treated wood. So I just wanted to make sure there's a barrier between the tortoise breathing and that smell. Now obviously that's going to go away in time, but I just wanted to put that there just to protect him that much more, because I mean, there's nothing I try not to think about with these guys, just for their well-being. So, you know, that's taken care of, but that's even holding up. So he's not chewing it up with his shell, and it looks really good. It's going to be really useful this winter when the cold comes, and we'll just throw a heated hide in there, or heated pig blanket. Yeah, pig blanket, and then we'll get doors and shut them in the cold nights.
Well, if you liked today's video, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Primitive Predators. Anything you want to say to the people, Kyle?
No, I've said enough.
Okay, we'll see you later.
See you guys.